Hey guys, welcome to the review of the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. So this is of course the latest one to the Galaxy Note series and has a lot of differences, including the spec upgrades of course, but the design wise and the bit of inside aspects as well. So before we get into the actual Note 4, the little comparison comes here. So this is the Galaxy Note 3. The one before the Galaxy Note 4 and the Galaxy Note Edge. Of course, this is a little variant from the Galaxy Note Edge, Galaxy Note 4 that has an Edge display instead of the normal plain display the Galaxy Note 4 has. So the back goes like that. So here we go. Compared to Galaxy Note 3, it has a fingerprint, the heart rate monitor over there and the fingerprint sensor and lots of other little goodies here and there. So let's get into the phone itself. So this has a receiver on the top, sensors over here, and the front-facing camera using for your selfies. And this is by far the best front-facing camera that Samsung has ever put on their smartphones. It's a wide angle, got a high resolution, and it's even brighter in its photos, and it's simply better in every single aspect. And the 5.7 inches of a QHD display, that's a far more resolution than the previous phones, but we can't really see the differences, to be honest. Of course, it's for the Gear VR, for your virtual reality kind of thingies. The high resolution is better, of course. But what about those people who don't use the Gear VR? It's just a waste of battery and the CPU power. The multitasking key goes here, the home key with the fingerprint sensor, and the back key, of course. And the side over here has a power key. But aside from the power key, what is most noticeable is that they got rid of this plastic over here, the plastic that actually wears out as you use your phone for a certain period of time. That is not exactly the most beautiful thing in the world that you want to see happening on your phone. But now they have changed to the metal edges over here. It looks a lot better and feels a lot premium at the same time. Alright, so power key and the infrared port, earphone jack, secondary microphone, volume rocker, and to the micro USB port over here. That's a little downgrade from the Galaxy Note 3's micro USB 3.0. Maybe price cost reductions or the performances were not that good. Of course, and the speaker grill has been moved to the back of the phone as well. And now the pen comes over here, of course the biggest hero of the Galaxy Note 4. And the camera is here, and the camera has gotten a lot better. We'll take into that. And the LED flash and the heart rate sensor over here, I actually use that to take selfies, so you can cover that up and just release it to take a selfie. That's a lot easier than pressing on your volume rocker or actually pressing a button on the back. It's a lot stable and easier to use. The LTA logo, that's actually a carrier logo from South Korea. And the Samsung logo comes around here. And the speaker has been moved to the back of the phone. And the battery cover is removable, giving you access to that 3200 milliamps of battery replaceable. And the micro SIM card slot and the micro SD card slot expandable up to 228 gigabytes. That's pretty much it. The battery cover is in plastic, so if you were expecting a fully metal phone, this is not the case, but at least the metal edges over here and the cutted diamond cuttings look really premium enough. Feels really nice in your hand, and 2.5D curved glass touch degree is really a nice touch over here. There were some issues that you could have put the business card over here because there was a gap between the screen and the metal frame, but seems fine for now. Alright, so this is the lock screen. Of course, you can swipe to unlock, and this is the usual TouchWiz user interface, and there's nothing much special to it as the Galaxy S5 and the Galaxy Alpha, and the latest Samsung devices all had the same interfaces. The notification bar, you can expand that, so on and so forth. The basics haven't really changed, but what has changed is the colors. So, the white is not exactly the best color for the AMOLED displays because the white is the fully burnt status, and you know AMOLED displays actually burn the pixels to show the color. So when it's in black, it's not burnt. When it's white, it's fully burnt with 3 different colors, red, green, and blue. And the reason why Samsung really hasn't put much of the white on their user interfaces was because the white was reducing the lifespan of the pixels, but seems like Samsung has gotten over it. There are lots of whites, and that's really good to see. It looks a lot brighter and a lot colorful. But that's not the point over here. The point over here is the little snitchy features that the Samsung has put. That's one of that thing is the one-hand instruction over here. Let's see. Display and wallpaper. one-hand operation, and side key panel over here is the hero over here. So when you're using it with your one hand, when you're walking, when you're in public transportation, buses or whatever, you will not exactly, unless you got a gigantic hand, feel exactly comfortable with your Note 4 because it's got a gigantic screen. But the little key over here gives you the shortcut to the hardware keys, multitasking, home, and the back. And additionally, you can actually change the orders of the keys over here if you're not exactly a big fan of the multitasking key being the first one on the screen. You can easily change that. And the multitasking screen has got changed and it's a lot cleaner, although I'm not exactly the fan of the green turquoise color over here. So little features that they have added. And also the S Pen. Of course, we have to mention about the S Pen. It's got double the sensitivity. I wasn't exactly counting a lot because I wasn't exactly the best of a writer. But this pen over here is called calligraphy fountain pen, and there's a calligraphy pen. And that actually makes your writing look better than before. So let's say under KG over here. So I just like scribbled it on the screen. Now it actually looks like something. Well, just let's pretend that it does. And that 2048 degrees of the sensitivity and this calligraphy pen mode definitely gives you a lot of fun when you're using the S Pen, if you ever use it though. And a lot of cool features have been added for the S Pen over here. So on the gallery you can choose the items with the S Pen, and there are just so much things that you can do on the S Pen. So enough with the niche little features about the Galaxy Note 4. The basics comes around here. Okay, so the camera is amazing. So the camera, both front and back, takes amazing photos. The front-facing camera takes a wide-angle, bright photo, and the back camera, the autofocus was the worst part of the Galaxy Note 3. Its sensor was okay, but its autofocus functionality was by far the worst out of its competitors. And it was laggy and it wasn't quite accurate, but the Galaxy Note 4 takes amazing photos, which I will show some sample shots here. And the video and everything is just better. The sound quality is okay, but it's not exactly as catchy or say bass boosting as I want it to be, but that's actually a matter of taste. And for sound qualities, there are a lot of different issues on that. About the speaker has got a lot better. Although it's from the bottom to back, it wasn't exactly the most welcome change because the back of the speaker usually gets covered up when you're putting your phone on a flat surface, or when you're holding it with your palm, you tend to cover the speaker. But the volume of the speaker is actually very loud, and it's not still as good as the one in the iPhones, but it's good enough. And the battery life, of course. Battery life is okay. I should say this because although the overall efficiency has got better, the battery capacity is still somewhat the same, and most of that battery time is taken away by that QHD display. So QHD display basically gives you a lot more pixels, but you can't really see the differences when you're just looking at your phone with your bare eyes. If you're using the Gear VR or the other kind of instruments, you'll be able to, but it's just a battery hover. The battery lasts about 5 to 6 hours with the screen on time, and that's not exactly great for a phone at this size. But one thing that you can rely on is the fast charging. So the built-in charger, the charger that comes with it, either charges in 2 amps at the 5 volts or 1.2 amps at 9 volts. And that fast charging mode gives you a really fast charging. It gives you about 30 minutes for a 30% of charge. That is tremendous. So whenever you get a chance, you make sure to plug your phone into the charger. It will give you enough time to last for a few hours. And just basically, this is an amazing phone. This is probably the best phone that Samsung has ever built. And obviously, this is the latest to the Note 4 Note series, so it should be good, but this was actually better than I have ever thought. I've used a lot of Samsung devices, and for most of them, they were good, but they were not exactly something that I would definitely pay for. There were not devices that I wanted to have. But Galaxy Note 4 feels amazing in the hand, and the performance-wise is amazing as well. One last thing that I would have ever wanted on the Galaxy Note 4 to be better was probably the battery. The battery on the Galaxy Note 2 was amazing, and the 3 was pretty good too, but the 4 is just about mediocre. Aside from that, if you're okay with the bigger phones, and it doesn't really feel that big these days now, the Nexus 6 is at 6 inches, so this doesn't even feel that big. So if you're okay with the big phones, this is definitely the one. There isn't exactly many of the catches that will fall you back behind its solid performances. And just better in everything, including this little neat feature that I really wanted, that I really liked. All right, so that was Galaxy Note 4. If you want to check out more photos or the reviews, there are ones on our channel, but our homepage has a better interface and better photos overall. So please do drop by undercage.com, and our social media, of course, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Get you the latest of Undercagey. Thanks. Bye.